House of Sayuri is the latest Japanese horror film from Koji Shiraishi, and it is creepy as. House of Sayuri is about a family who are moving into a new house, and the previous family, who are now ghosts, are haunting them. Koji Shiraishi has made a lot of horror films over his career, about 40 of them, and he is one of the most renowned horror directors in Japan. This is the first time I've seen one of his films, and I was impressed by the camera work and the way he creates tensions in his scenes. Shiraishi definitely knows how to make a horror film, but the script here is not great. It's overly familiar, and it doesn't really add anything new to the haunted house genre. The family is very quickly haunted by the ghosts as soon as they move into the house. The film doesn't build up to it and quickly jumps into the different family members each night being haunted by different ghosts and weird things happening to them. So because the horror elements are introduced into the film so early, it lacks tension and it relies on shock tactics and sudden music to bring the story forward. And we as a viewer, we're always one step ahead of the characters. And this mixed with the fact that the film is nothing new, it gets a little bit tedious at times, especially in the second half of the film. I will mention some positive things about the film. Director Shiraishi, he knows where to put the camera, and there are quite a few exciting set pieces in the film. This film is set in a very large house with multiple levels, and Shiraishi really puts the house to good use. He uses different levels, up and down, the stairs up and down. The house is used very effectively to create some nice set pieces. I like the shift in perspective about halfway through the film. There's one side character that was put aside in the first half of the film, but she's one of the main characters in the second half of the film, and that really enlivened the film a little bit. The flashback scenes in the second half of the film are very well done and very effective, and they do a very good job of explaining what is happening to this family that have moved into the house. Okay, I'm going to give away the whole story now, so this is my spoiler warning. The first scene in the movie is about the family who previously lived in the house, and it shows one girl called Sayuri who always stays in her room. This girl called Sayuri, she attacks her mother when her mother asks her to come out of her room to join the family for dinner. And then as she's attacking her mother, the film cuts away, and then the next scene is the new family a few years later moving into the same house. It's a large family. There's the father, the mother, and three young teenage kids who all go to the local school, and also a grandmother and grandfather who were previously living by themselves, who have decided to join the family in this really big house. The family is haunted by a ghost literally on the first night that they stay in the house. The teenage daughter is grabbed on the arm by a ghost. Before that, the ghost creepily turns the TV on and off, and she wakes up. And when she wakes up, the ghost grabs her arm, and then she becomes possessed. And then the teenage girl walks out of her room into the hallway, and then her younger brother is going to the bathroom. And then once he's finished with the bathroom, the teenage girl grabs her brother by the head and smashes it against the wall, and then this wakes everybody up. And then after that, she smashes her own head against the wall, and then a few minutes later she wakes up and she is confused. She doesn't know what happened. The next night, the father of the family, he's grabbed by a ghost He grabs him on the head and then he throws him to the ground, and the father lands head down onto the ground, face down, and he bleeds a little bit and then he dies. Eventually, one by one, all of the family members die except for one of the teenage boys and his grandmother. The grandmother in the film, in the first half of the film, she's very old and slow and a little bit has a dementia a little bit. But about halfway through the film, the death of her husband, she gets kind of like cursed and then kind of like brings her alive a little bit. And then suddenly she turns into a different character. She becomes a karate fighting hippie grandma. This new grandma joins forces with her teenage grandson, and together they try to come up with a way to avenge the death of their family against the ghost. I'll let you discover the final act for yourself, but it involves an exorcist and there's a few flashback scenes and it details what happened to the previous family who lived there and how Sayuri the ghost became who she is. There's a fun final showdown scene at the end of the film between teenage son and grandma and Sayuri the ghost with some very interesting kind of dodgy looking CGI special effects. I give House of Sayuri 2.5 stars out of 5. There's some nice set pieces in the film and it's well made, but it just doesn't bring anything new to the haunted house genre, and it's very has the same familiar beats as other Japanese horror films. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and like the video. See you soon.